Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I keep all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. It's the first ladies lounge with Tommy, and now the ladies will get to speak their minds and spill their tea. There's a new addition, Carmen. She went on a first blind date as well as Ace. The entire point of the blind dates is to spend more quality time. Now it's time for the ladies to set up dates that are relatable to their own lives. This way they can see if the fellas can merge with their same sentiments. If there's no fit, that can help them move on. Now there's a new curveball. 2 more singles, 1 man, 1 woman. Which lady will have the blind date with the new gentleman? Tommy selects Dakiya. His name is Eric. At the end of the week, everyone will meet back in the ladies' lounge to decide who will be eliminated. Dakiya is ready for the blind date, but she's nervous. Eric is a private celebrity chef. The workload does affect his love life. He's always been on the road, but now he's scaled back to make more time for dating. His parents are his role models when it comes to love. They still are very flirty, go out, and have fun. Dakiya is greeted with hugs, and so far so good. She's learned that he's a preacher's kid, a chef, he grew up in Germany, and then he got married at 18 years old. It lasted for 4 years, but it didn't work out. They're excited to learn that they both at one point were system engineers, and Dakiya worked for NASA before investing in her own dance studio. He's moved from Harlem to Potomac after his uncle was diagnosed with cancer. Dakiya is a survivor of cervical cancer. She was 30 years old and blessed it was caught early. The treatments allowed her not to have to go through chemo. Since then, it's been 9 years cancer-free. Eric loves her transparency and elegance. Dakiya is open to children, and Eric has 2 daughters, 21 and 23. He's open to potential mate wanting more children, but if not, he wants anyone that can just chill and enjoy their current lives. Dakiya says to production that she hasn't really connected with anyone else so quickly. It seems like he has a great balance of being professional and having fun. That's exactly what she's looking for. Eric makes a note to production that he doesn't want to waste anyone's time, but knows that he has to date more people in order to have a true process. Clifton awaits for his blind date. He knows that it's part of the process, so he's rolling with everything. He was slightly disappointed to meet at a vegan place though, because he eats meat. AJ is a holistic life coach. Her goal is to help women on their journey to healing. She hasn't had much luck with online dating either. She was married for almost 10 years, but her husband passed away about 5 years ago. She took 3 years to refocus on herself. She's ready for love again. AP loves everything about Clifton. His hair, his smile, everything. She's not only a life coach though, but she also teaches fitness. She loves to travel, but has to consider her children who are 9 and 7 years old. Clifton says that he has a 17-year-old and a 3-year-old, and he's been married twice. They have a lot in common when it comes to new beginnings. After some conversation, AP says that unfortunately Clifton reminds her of her brother. His face, his eyes, everything is unfortunately making the connection a little awkward. Clifton says to production that AP is a great person, but there wasn't anything there. There wasn't a romantic spark. It's a group date to introduce Eric to everyone. Eric, Ace, Dakiya, Joi, and Cornelius. They have a fun activity for everyone to start a painting, and after 5 minutes, switch canvases. They will all add their own additions to each painting. Cornelius paints a picture of his cat named Pimp, who unfortunately passed away. He was 14 years old. Joi is finding it difficult to have a serious conversation about his cat, but wants to be engaged in conversation. Cornelius makes a note to production that I don't know why people don't like cats. Egyptians used to worship them, so RIP to the pimp. Now it's time to switch canvases. Eric speaks with Ace, but it's the conversation with Joi that he likes. Joi loves that he's a breath of fresh air. Dakiya finds some time to speak with Cornelius. She wants to make sure that she meets everybody while going through the process. She also takes notes that to give Eric a few winks across the way. She shares that she was engaged a while ago, but it didn't work. Cornelius has never been married, but he wants children. She tells Cornelius that, hey, I'm 39, having children is possible, but highly unlikely. Sabrina meets up with Paul, and she wanted to speak with him more, and he's liking her vibe. So far, so good. They even joke about mac and cheese. He tells her that he was a mischievous child, but it was always in mind of entrepreneurship. Sabrina wants to know, can you be present? Can you live within the moment? It seems as if he always talks about business. He explains that this is just a part of my life and I say what I want, I go directly with what I feel, and she stops him. It seems as if he's looking for a business partner and not someone to enjoy his life with. He asks flat out, do you see someone like me making you happy? And Sabrina feels that no, it's friend vibes. There isn't enough connection. It's now some bowling fun with AP meeting the rest of the singles, Laverne, Demetrius, Paul, and Joi. Paul is quick to help AP with bowling skills, and Joi can stomach his humor, but others not so much. Laverne appreciates Joi's flirting, and he suggests that they go out on another date. She likes him because he's fun and very confident in demeanor. It's a group date that includes looking at monuments with Sabrina, Tori, Wiley, AP, and Demetrius. Sabrina is excited because it includes the three men that she finds the most attractive. AP is loving the tour, but notice that Wiley sat next to her, and Demetrius is way in the back. Wiley notices upon conversation that AP really isn't a fan of having more children, but he does. He's 32 and she's 42. The age gap seems to be a distraction for AP. He even reminds her of some of her students when she was a professor of biology. Sabrina also finds it awkward to have Demetrius listening to her conversation with Tori. It seems as if the engaging part is hard to do. She would have liked if Demetrius jumped in, wanting to speak with her more. Joi is now on a date with Clifton. They both are excited and they missed each other. They start off the date tasting food, but Clifton tastes coconut and he's allergic to it. If it's artificial coconut, he's fine. But if it's real, he's going to have some immediate allergic reactions. Gladly, he doesn't feel anything life-threatening. Joi was raised by a single father, and her mother is from Trinidad. Even though her dad wasn't that affectionate, her dad gained custody of her at the age of 6. He was very loving. When he passed away, it was very hurtful. Clifton lost his dad at the age of 23, and his dad was the nucleus of the family. And when he passed on, the entire family fell apart. He didn't even cry because he was so focused on being there for others of his family. He realized that with counseling, he held in a lot of emotions. They both liked the fact that they can relate on some things and be open. She tells him that she's really happy to see more sides of him. She says that I saw parts of you in me. He returns with the joke pun. Yes, I can also see parts of me in you. The ladies meet in the lounge and it's time to spill the tea. Everyone meets AP as well. Let's talk about the top connections. Ace says Laverne. He reaches out to her every day and they have a connection that's genuine. Joi explains her dinner date with Clifton, how it was great, but they almost had an allergic reaction scare. She wants a do-over. Carmen says that Clifton is a great guy. He seems as if he's a good protector, has a strong personality, and it makes Joi have a very uncomfortable stare down, listening hard to what Carmen has to say. Sabrina is feeling Demetrius. When they talk, it seems as if he always listens because he has wonderful follow-up questions. And she's also digging Tori. Precious says Paul. The one-on-one conversations show that he has a good life balance. She's not looking for someone to complete her, but yet build and add to her. Dakiya had her date with Eric and it went very well. She said, "From the beginning, Tommy, I've always told you that Clifton and Demetrius were the ones that caught my eye from day one, but Eric surely made his presence known. Now, who are they not having connections with?" AP says Wiley, only due to the age gap, and Dakiya agrees. Dakiya says Laverne and Cornelius. Laverne seems to be a little messy. Carmen says, yeah, Laverne thinks and says that he's positive, but there were a few texts that we exchanged that seemed very negative. Ace says Paul. He gives homie vibes. Joi says Cornelius and Paul. They're good guys, but there's just nothing there. Sabrina says Cornelius and Paul. They just don't give that spark. Precious asks Tommy if she can make a statement. What the ladies and Sabrina are calling out about Paul are true, but it works for her. She's touch and go, and she wants someone who can contribute focus. Tommy makes a note that what each person finds in other people is different, which is okay. Unfortunately, it's time to make a decision. One of them has to be up for elimination. A decision has to be made. Precious then meets up with Paul. It's weird for her, especially after everything the ladies said in the lounge. They've had some intense conversations, but she needs to share something with Paul. The women felt that he hasn't been forward enough and feels that he's guarded. Paul explains that he goes in with trying, and if someone isn't feeling him, that's their issue. He doesn't sweet talk anything. He goes in directly with his view, points out what he wants, and that's about it. Sometimes that intimidates people. She lets him know that he's ready to love, but he needs to open up. He says that he will try to connect more and agrees to step it up. Joi then meets with Cornelius. Cornelius says to production that the dinner date has him a bit thrown off. When it comes to Joi, he really wasn't feeling any good vibes when they first met. She says to production that I wanted to handle Cornelius with care and to make sure that I watch my words. She tells him that a lot of the women like him but didn't have a romantic connection. They see him as a friend, just not a lover. Therefore, his journey has ended and the ladies have decided that he is not ready to love. Cornelius makes his last note to production that his plan for the future is to not allow himself to be placed in the friend zone, be a little bit more direct and romantic. And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. Now for this episode, there really wasn't anything too astonishing. When it came to the elimination, I was very surprised that they kept Paul and they let him go. They let Cornelius go. That didn't really make sense to me, since they all agreed that Paul was kind of annoying, that he asked these questions that were just so repetitive and it felt like you were in a business interview. They both could have let them go. They honestly could have eliminated Cornelius and Paul, but of course there wouldn't be a wow factor of some things that Paul might say, because he's already been kind of like what and out of pocket about some things that he said in the past. So shows keep that wow factor, and I don't know. I would really love to know how much the production has its foot in saying, hey, you know what, we're going to keep this person a little bit longer, even though there's no connections with anybody else. We're going to keep them. It just didn't make any sense to me. And for Sabrina to say, well, ladies, that's cool, but I'm really having a connection with Paul, and he's just that type of guy where he's focused and he's this, he's that. If it's kind of unanimous that we're not digging him, that just kind of threw me off. And Cornelius just got there. And if he's giving you friend vibes, like, shouldn't you just let that kind of evolve and maybe getting to know him a little bit better? It's like y'all are cool with getting to know Paul a little bit longer and not Cornelius. I don't know what's going on, y'all. They almost made me just want to just say, do I want to watch the rest of this? Because I'm really not sure. Demetrius is giving me, and it could be production, it could be the stuff that they're keeping out, but he gives me, let me just stay in the back and play it safe. And once again, the same thing that I said for last season. I don't like the fact that okay, they're communicating and they're getting to know one another offset of production. And they're saying that they're talking to each other over the phone and they're sending text messages and they're getting connections off production. I can't stand that, because we need to know what's going on in the middle of everything, because it appears to be as if there's only these certain weeks of allotted time of people getting to know each other, and it doesn't seem like it's enough. So it's like, I'm pretty sure they're saying to them, hey, guys, exchange numbers, text message each other, talk, whoop de whoop de whoop. And I'm like, they need to have my idea of having them all in one house in this sort of Big Brother setting where we could see all the conversations and hear all the conversations and all the confessional room notes that they take. That would let us know what's going on with certain couples, who's talking to each other, and this and that. The fact that Laverne and Carmen are texting one another. I want to know what was said in those comments that was negative of what he said. I already told y'all in the last episode review that I was not feeling Laverne and his vibes at all. It was something about him. It was something about Paul. What are they talking about? What are Precious and Paul talking about? What does she have to talk about with him that was just so off the chain? And she says, Tommy, can I make a statement? I want to know what was so deep and what was so splendiferous about that. That's what I want to know. Laverne needs to go. In my opinion, Laverne and Paul, if anybody, would have been those people that need to be just peace out. But they're having connections. People are having so-called connections and ain't making it work. But just, I don't know. It just baffles me. I'm just kind of like, I watched the end of this episode and I was like, wait, what? And the fact, once again in episode 1, and when I gave the review and kind of like the foreshadowing of what I thought for the rest of the season, that's cool. Y'all trying some new stuff. We're adding new people and blind dates, but it's minimizing the opportunity for people to get to know one another. I don't know what they're going to do about this, y'all. Who do you think should go home next week? What are some red flags or things that you're noticing with the cast members so far? To me, the red flags to me are Paul and Cornelius, and Demetrius and Cliff seems to me like they haven't turned in their players cards yet. I still feel for some strange reason that they still had their players card and they have yet to turn it in. Don't ask me why. Just getting that kind of notion about it. Even though he's connecting with Joi and they have a true connection, there's nothing wrong with having an immediate connection with somebody. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't seem like he's vibing with Joi because the other ladies that are not there, there's not a connection with that. I get that. So then also, if you had Wiley, every time I see that name, I got to pronounce it like that. Wiley being so young, he 32, and it's like, come on, casting directors. If you knew that he was so young compared to the other, cast members, why did you do that? Did you do that only because he is the son of somebody that holds a very strong historical connection with the DMV when it comes to the music? Did you do that? Did you do that because, we got to have son on here because he be representing, he be playing that music? Did y'all do that for that? I hope not, because that was whack. I could see them having a younger woman on there because you have a lot of men on here that want children. Or either they have children and they want some more. So that would have been some static right there, but in a good entertaining way, that you have this ripe and ready to go woman along with a lot of 40-year-olds. That would have been some nuck if you buck situations. And also some younger fellas having that vibe with the older gentlemen as well, because we do have that factor of age, you guys. Age is a big factor when it comes to children, career. Are you trying to keep that career going? Are you comfortable with staying at home? If you are comfortable with staying at home, are you comfortable with raising the children? Something's got to give here in what the singles want and what they desire. Maybe next week they'll add in what I'm talking about. That would be very entertaining, but they need to show on. They need to show on with some stuff, man, because right now it's a snoozer, doozer, caboozer, boozer. They need to bring it on because it's driving me crazy. In the meantime, in between time, let me know your thoughts below. Also, check out HBO's original miniseries, The Girl Before. Make sure you check that out. I'll link that and also put the direct link at the end of this video. Check that out and more shows that are coming. We have the season finale this Tuesday of Queens. If you haven't watched Queens, make sure to check on and click on that link of Queens so you can binge watch that, because on Tuesday is the season finale. It was a really good show, and I really think that you'll like it. Also, check out other shows you need to binge watch on before they begin again. Good example, Wu-Tang and American Saga, which is on Hulu. It's an original series, and season 3 begins this fall. So binge watch season 1 and season 2 just to get caught up. So when we start talking about the show, you can know what's going on. There's so much more. Binge watch A Handmaid's Tale, because Handmaid's Tale is coming this summer. So binge watch, look at those reviews, join the discussions, make sure to check the notes in the comments, have some good debates about what you think is up for the upcoming seasons as well. So take care of yourself and each other, and keep a lookout. Click that notification bell so you don't miss any posts, and take care of yourself. That's all I can say. Bye. Wasn't anything too flattering about this episode.